Hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. In the last episode, Naomi somehow managed to tip the Mako whilst on a planet, and we encountered a Geth trap, but clearly the important thing that happened in the last episode was tipping the Mako. Now then, I want to have a quick chat with the companions, and then we're gonna head out on the next main mission. At ease, soldier. Now then, let's start with Kaidan, because he is the closest to us. You're right, buddy.
Anything you need, Commander?
Yeah, any thoughts?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Okay.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
I've got to say, I do find it weird that Kaidan only seems to have stuff to say after the main missions, because every other crewmate has more to say. I get the feeling that Kaidan would have a lot to say if we were romancing him, but again, I'm playing a lesbian. I don't particularly want to romance a character in order to get their full backstory. Seems a little odd to me. And Chakwas, I hope you're doing okay. You're one of my favorites.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Apparently not.
I just wanted to talk.
Of course, Shepard. What did you want to talk about?
Okay, nothing new here.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Yeah, this is really weird. The two people on this level don't really seem to have much to talk about beyond, do you want to romance me? But the people in the basement, you know, we've been able to talk with Ashley about, you know, her religion and her family. You know, Garrus and Wrex have given us both companion quests. I find it really odd that the people in the basement seem very developed, but the people up top are just like, do you want to bone? Do you want to do the boning? And not right now, thank you.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Something bothering you?
It's Saren. I'm starting to wonder whether we'll ever find him. He's always one step ahead of us, and he's got those damn Geth.
I mean, saying don't worry is a bit, oh, don't worry, he's just trying to destroy the universe with a bunch of evil robot men. Like, don't worry about it. Like, that seems rather dismissive. I mean, Garrus has a point. You know, he is very, very powerful, and he's clearly very, very clever, so...
We're getting close, Garrus. We'll find him.
I wish I had your confidence. I just can't stand the thought of him getting away with everything he's done. I know you're doing everything you can, and if anyone can catch him, it's you, but if there's anything else I can do to help, anything, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it.
I understand your concern, but we will find him. Just make sure you're ready to go when we do.
Yes, ma'am. You can count on me. Thanks for hearing me out. I appreciate it. Can I ask you something, Commander?
Hell yeah.
What is it?
Are you worried that the Council might be protecting Saren? I mean, they were really dragging their heels before. What if we find him, bring him back to the Citadel, and they refuse to act?
I mean, it is possible. I think, here's the thing, at this stage, we've had the Council, who are really petty. For, you know, like, oh, we're the seat of intergalactic diplomacy, and we act like petty high schoolers. Like, the Council have been extremely petty, and they absolutely were protecting Saren. Saren? It's Saren, yeah. I was like, Saris? No, that is Saren and Garrus' ship name, and that is not a ship I want to partake in. But yeah, they were absolutely protecting Saren when we first brought evidence against him, and to be fair, it wasn't particularly strong evidence. Like, Anderson was bringing up, like, Shepard had a vision, which, that's not great. We had a dock worker who, yay, was scared, but how did he know Saren's name? How was he able to describe him? Like, did he, get shown a bunch of pictures? Like, did he manage to pick him out of a lineup? Like, we had the dock worker, who, by their standards, wasn't a good witness, but, still, he's a random farmer. How was he able to ID this guy? We didn't really have much beside that, and he is a very respected member of their organization. So on one hand, I think that Naomi can understand, okay, they were protecting him because we didn't have very good evidence, but also they just dismissed everything. Like I said before, how was the dock worker able to name and describe him? He is a random dock worker on a random farming planet. He has no reason to know Saren even exists. Yet he was able to name and describe him. Like, yeah, you can call into question his character, but how was he able to do that? How was he able to do that? And they didn't even want to investigate. So I do think that Naomi, she respects the council. And I do think that she thinks that, as a whole, they have the best interests of the many in mind. However, they can also be incredibly petty, and they seem to have a history of, oh, we'll set these two people up against each other, and oh, whoops, it went badly, but we're not actually going to do anything about it. We're not going to come in and say, hey, it wasn't the humans who decided to settle there, Batarians, it was us, we set them up. No, we're just going to leave the humans to it. Like, they have acted extremely pettily in the past. So whilst Naomi thinks, I do believe they have good intentions, they also have a history of acting shitty. As such, I am suspicious of them. Compared to the Alliance, where she's like, yo, I was just told that Alliance scientists were on a cruise undergoing a classified project, and then I got told, yeah, it was to do with Thresher Moors. Like, she has no trust in the Alliance at this point, so I think this is all culminating in her having a massive, like, I can't trust the higher-ups. I can trust me, I can trust my crew, but I can't implicitly trust those massive organizations because they are so prone to corruption. The council acts petty. The Alliance may have had something to do with a coup. If it was Alliance scientists who were undergoing this secret project, then how could the Alliance not know what that classified project was? Yeah, I don't think she trusts authority figures anymore.
You seem to have some thoughts on this. Speak your mind, Garrus.
Well, maybe we shouldn't give them the chance, Commander. In my opinion, Saren's too dangerous to be kept alive. Too much could happen. He could escape, or the Council might let him go. If we find him, when we find him, I say we make sure we stop him permanently.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know here. Here's the thing. I keep saying this. Naomi is doing this because she wants justice for what happened on Eden Prime. She doesn't give a shit about being a Spectre. She's just like, yo, this job will mean I can get that justice. Because the Council blatantly aren't going to do shit because they're scared of this guy. He's such a good agent that they're like, we don't want to send any of the agents we care about because he'll undoubtedly kill them. So we'll send the new agent that we really don't care about, and he's only kind of here because the humans are kind of whining about it. We're gonna send you to do it. So there is a pretty good chance that the Council won't do anything. However, there is also the chance that they might. I don't think that Naomi is so personally affected by what happened on Eden Prime that she's, how do I put this? what happened on Aku's really fucked her up. It really, really fucked her up mentally. And so even though, yes, we could bring this guy to prison and get legal justice, she simply has too much pain. This event causes her too much pain, and the only cure is, oh, you're responsible? Well, then I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. That is the only thing that is gonna make me feel better. Seeing you in a jail cell, no, that won't make me feel better, because every night I have to deal with the screams of my men and women being, you know, basically burning to death in the acid. The sizzling, the screaming, the smell of burning flesh, it haunts her dreams. And okay, he's in a prison cell. That ain't gonna make me feel better. I want vengeance. I want vengeance for what happened to those men and women. With Eden Prime, she wants justice. Seeing Saren go to prison, she can live with that. It affected her. It affected her because I think it would have reminded her of Aku's, but not to the point where she's like, oh, Saren's, he's gotta fucking die, I want to tear his throat out. Like, she's... With Aku's, she wanted vengeance. With Eden Prime, she wants justice. And here's the thing, we have been... I just had a thought, we've been going around telling the press, yes, Saren's involved. Saren is absolutely involved, which means the council can't just cover this up. The council can't, you know, quietly let Saren retire, because Earth knows that Saren was involved because we spilled the beans. As such, the council has to react appropriately. He would either have to be put to death or imprisoned. So yeah, with that in mind, the council, we've kind of forced their hand by telling Miss Jelani what Saren was up to. So with that in mind, we absolutely can get legal justice here. So killing him really should only be a last resort.
If Saren won't listen to reason, if he forces my hand, I'll kill him in a heartbeat. But only if it's absolutely necessary.
But what's the point in keeping him alive? It just gives him an opportunity to escape or convince the council to listen to him. And what about the Geth? They might try to free him.
I don't think she'd go for this one, so it's between think about it and use your head. I wish I could see what these were saying.
We know more about Saren's plans than anyone, but what do we really know? If we just kill him, we lose the chance to find out.
Yeah, I see your point. Do you really think there's more to know, other than the fact that he's a raving lunatic?
Maybe, maybe not. But it's not a chance I'm willing to take.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there we go. I wasn't sure how that option was going to come out, but I like it.
Commander?
Yeah, do you want to talk about anything?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I should get back to my duty, Skipper. Rifles don't maintain themselves. Not yet, anyway. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okie doke. And I'm pretty sure that's just a recap of, like, oh, what did you think on the last mission, so... Yeah, I'm good.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Okie doke. Wrex?
Shepard,
So you'd rather be a merc than help your people?
I'm a fighter. It's what I do.
Aren't you at all worried about what will happen to the Krogan?
What the hell do you want me to do about it, Shepard? I'm tired of sticking my ass on the line and getting nothing for it.
I mean... Here's the thing, on one hand, that is very reasonable, because He tried to change things, and the Krogans proved that they were unwilling to change. Why should he keep putting out when no one else is willing to do so? Why should all of the onus be on him to change things? They need to evolve as a species. It can't just be one dude. At the same time, there will absolutely be Krogan like Wrex. There will be Krogan who are trying to plan ahead, but they can't. They need someone to lead them. And Wrex, I feel like he's probably a very good leader. He's got the right credentials for it. I mean, here's the thing, this could be very lectury, you know, oh, that's your reason, that's a bad reason, why don't you go there in peace? I mean, Naomi doesn't really know. I will say, Naomi sounds really judgmental in a lot of the conversations with Wrex about his people and what's going on with him. And it is rather jarring. Because here's the thing, she has no reason. She has no reason to be judgmental. She doesn't know what's going on with his people. Both of these could be really judgmental. Oh, I don't blame you, the Krogans sound thick as pig shit. So, just go down the middle. Neutral approach.
So you decided to go your own way?
I decided killing for credits was better than killing for a lost cause. I'm no hero, Shepard. Bottom line, killing for credits simplifies things.
I mean... How does Naomi feel about mercenaries? She doesn't like murder. Like, that's her, like, if you're killing in defense, fair. If they made a threat against you, fair. Hiding in an alley and like, oh, I'm gonna kill women. I'm going to kill women because I hate my mother. Like, no, that is psychotic. That is psychotic. You need help. Don't be doing that. Here's the thing though. Assassins and mercenaries, they're killing because it's their job. They don't have any beef against, you know, whoever they're killing. It's just, hey, I was told to kill you, so, I mean, I would imagine that Naomi probably killed people because she was told to. When she was in the gang, you know, she was more of, you know, the bruiser, the brawler. You know, she acted as a bodyguard when she had to because, you know, she was bigger and stronger, and I think there will have been times where, you know, she would have been told, hey, this guy is pissing me the fuck off, take care of him. And she would have done because, hey, I'm just trying to get paid here. I'm just trying to get paid. So with that in mind, how do I put this? She's not like working as a mercenary or an assassin is good. Thumbs up. She's just kind of like, hey, it's your job. It's your job, but for someone paying you to kill this guy, you wouldn't be killing him. The blame should be on the one paying you to do it, not you for doing your job. Yeah, I don't think she'd be all for it, because again, murder is wrong. She knows that. I mean, it sometimes does, but it also sometimes doesn't, because they can come after you rather than going after, you know, their family members, their surviving, you know, relatives. Oh, you killed Jeff, so I'm gonna come after you, even though you were hired to kill Jeff.
You ever think about helping your people?
I try not to. But there's a lot of Krogan mercs out there. I'm always running into them. Half the time I'm being paid to kill them. But that's just part of the job. You don't get to pick who your enemies are.
Yeah. yeah, I think that Naomi would understand that. You know, if you're told to kill someone and that's your job, then you kind of have to do it.
How long have you been a merc?
Long enough. I took my first contract right after I left my home system. It's good work if it doesn't kill you.
I get the feeling you enjoy your work.
Sure. You get to see the galaxy on someone else's credits, and most days end with a good fight. I've tried more organized fighting, private armies and such, but it gets too messy. I fight best on my own, or in very small groups. I don't like people relying on me, and I bloody well don't like relying on them.
I mean, fair. Fair, he's a lone wolf type.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
Okie doke. And last but by no means least... Tali.
It feels like we're getting near the end, doesn't it, Shepard? With Saren, I mean.
No, I've still got 2 main quests to go.
It won't be much longer. One way or another, it'll all be over soon.
You'll find the conduit before he does. I know you will. You have to. And after this is all over, when my pilgrimage ends and I go back to my own people, I'll be proud to say I was a part of it.
I couldn't have done this without you, Tali.
You've been good to me. A lot of people treat Quarians like second-class citizens. They just want us to go back to our fleet and disappear. But you've treated me just like everyone else on your crew. Like an equal. That means a lot, and it says something about you. Whatever happens, I just want to say thank you for that.
You're wasting my time. No! No, you're welcome!
I'm gonna miss you when you go back to your own people, Tali.
That won't happen for a while yet. I'll be right here anytime you need me.
It does feel... It really does feel like the game is treating it like, oh, they've been on this massive journey together. They're so close now. And me as the player, I'm like, I do not feel that. I've only done one main mission. You know, I will say, I don't think that the dialogue with the companions is particularly well paced. It feels very rushed to me. Compared to Dragon Age Origins, and I know that Origins came out a few years after Mass Effect 1, but you can definitely tell where they improved when it comes to the companions. Like, I feel like the pacing with the companions in Origins is so good. And here's the thing, if they were able to improve that much between Mass Effect 1 and Dragon Age 1, I would assume that they will have really improved by the time Mass Effect 2 rolled around. So I don't think I'll be having this issue with the sequel, but like the main thing I'm feeling right now, I just feel confused. Not confused like what's happening, what's going on, but I'm just like, why is everyone acting like we're best friends? Like the only person I'm like, I feel realistically, I feel is behaving realistically is Wrex. Because he's a lone wolf and he's very standoffish. I'm like, yeah, you make sense. But everyone else being like, Commander, I've never known anyone like you. I'm like, this is way too soon. We've barely done anything. I've had 2 conversations with you. I find this very strange.
I should go.
See you later.
Okie doke, Tali. Bye-bye. I do like the companions. But like I said, I think their dialogue could be... I think it could have a lot better pacing than what it has. Because as it stands, it just kind of feels like the game is saying, oh, you've been through so much together. You're really good friends now. And I'm like, but I don't feel it. I don't feel like we've been through a lot together. I don't feel like Shepard is best friends with these crewmates. It feels a little hollow to me, shall we say. Also, you know what? It's been a while since I explored the ship. Just in case any new codex entries have opened up. Anything at all? I don't think Joker will have anything new to say because we haven't done another main quest. Okay, yeah. Okie doke. And I only have about 5 minutes left on my timer, so... Again, let's read some codex entries. Oh, hello. Okay, nothing new there. Okay, Turian's government. The Turian government is a hierarchical meritocracy. While it has great potential for misuse, this is tempered by the civic duty and personal responsibility Turians learn in childhood. Turians have 27 citizenship tiers, beginning with civilians, client races, and children. The initial period of military service is the second tier. Formal citizenship is conferred as the third tier, after boot camp. For client races, citizenship is granted after the individual musters out. Higher-ranked citizens are expected to lead and protect subordinates. Lower-ranked citizens are expected to obey and support superiors. Promotion to another tier of citizenship is based on the personal assessments of one's superiors and co-rankers. Throughout their lives, Turians ascend to higher tiers and are occasionally demoted to lower ones. The stigma associated with demotion lies not on the individual, but on those who promoted him when he wasn't ready for additional responsibility. This curbs the tendency to promote individuals into positions beyond their capabilities. Settling into a role and rank is not considered stagnation. Turians value knowing one's own limitations but more than being ambitious. At the top are the Primarchs, who each rule a colonization cluster. The Primarchs vote on matters of national import. They otherwise maintain a hands-off policy, trusting the citizens on each level below them to do their jobs competently. Turians enjoy broad freedoms. So long as one completes his duties and does not prevent others from completing theirs, nothing is forbidden. For example, there are no laws against recreational drug use, but if someone is unable to complete his duties due to I'm sorry, it's starting to get hot in the back room. The heat wave has ended, but I'm in a very small room next to a computer that puts out a lot of heat. I'm gonna take a sip. 1 second. Beautiful. Lovely jubbly. Okay. I'm gonna go from here. Turians enjoy broad freedoms. So long as one completes his duties and does not prevent others from completing theirs, nothing is forbidden. For example, there are no laws against recreational drug use, but if someone is unable to complete his duties due to drug use, his superiors step in. Judicial proceedings are interventions. Peers express their concerns and try to convince the offender to change. If rehabilitation fails, Turians have no qualms about sentencing dangerous individuals to life at hard labour for the state. Okay, interesting. And... okay. Krogan military doctrine. Traditional Krogan tactics were built on attritional mass unit warfare. Equipped with cheap, rugged gear, troop formations were powerful but inflexible. Command and control was very centralized. Soldiers in the field who saw a target contacted their commanders behind the lines to arrange fire support. Since the Genophage, Krogans can no longer afford the casualties of the old Horde attack. Brain, are you okay? Are you alright? Can you read? My brain's having a moment. Since the Genophage, the Krogan can no longer afford the casualties of the old Horde attacks. The Battle-Masters are a match for any 10 soldiers of another species. To a Battle-Master, killing is a science. They focus on developing a clean, brute force economy of motion that exploits their brutal strength to incapacitate enemies with a swift, single blow of overwhelming power. This change of focus from mass unit warfare to maximal efficiency has increased employment demand in the fields of security and muscle for hire. Due to the unsavory reputation of the Krogan, most of these jobs are on the far side of the law. Battle-Masters Battlemasters are not spit and polish, but they do believe in being well armed and equipped, preferably with a gun for each limb. They are callous and brutal, but methodical and disciplined. They use any means at their disposal to achieve their goals, no matter how reprehensible. Hostage-taking and genocide are acceptable means to ensure a quiet occupation with few Krogan casualties. The Krogan serving with Saren's forces appear to be returning to their old style of mass attritional combat. They also work in close cooperation with supporting Geth units, who fill the roles occupied by combat drones in other armies. Biotics are rare among Krogan. Those that exist are viewed with suspicion and fear. The Krogan see this aura of fear as a useful quality for an officer and often promote them. Combat drones and other high-tech equipment are likewise in short supply. Okay, so the fact that Wrex is a biotic is quite rare. Oh, okay. And space combat general tactics. Shells lofted by surface navies crash back to Earth when their acceleration is overwhelmed by gravity and air resistance. In space, a projectile has unlimited range. It will keep moving until it hits something. Practical gunnery range is determined by the velocity of the attacker's ordnance and the maneuverability of the target. Beyond a certain range, a small ship's ability to dodge trumps a larger attacker's projectile speed. The longest ranged combat occurs between dreadnoughts, whose projectiles have the highest velocity but are the least maneuverable. The shortest range combat is between frigates, which have the slowest projectile velocities and the highest maneuverability. Opposing dreadnoughts open with a main gun artillery duel at extreme ranges of tens of thousands of kilometers. The fleets close, maintaining evasive lateral motion while keeping their bow guns facing the enemy. Fighters are launched and attempt to close to disrupt a torpedo range. Cautious admirals weaken the enemy with ranged fire and fight at strikes before committing to close action. Aggressive commanders advance so cruisers and frigates can engage. At long range, the main guns of cruisers become useful. Friendly interceptors engage enemy fighters until the attackers enter the range of ship-based Guardian fire. Dreadnoughts fire from the rear, screened by smaller ships. Commanders must decide whether to commit to general melee or retreat into FTL. At medium range, ships can use broadside guns. Fleets intermingle, and it becomes difficult to retreat in order. Ships with damaged kinetic barriers are vulnerable to Wolfpack frigate flotillas that speed through the battle space. Only fighters and frigates enter close, knife fight ranges of 10 or fewer kilometers. Fighters loose their disruptor torpedoes, bringing down a ship's kinetic barriers and allowing it to be swarmed by frigates. Guardian lasers become viable weapons, swatting down fighters and boiling away warship armor. Neither dreadnoughts nor cruisers can use their main guns at close range. Laying the bow on a moving target becomes impossible. Superheated thruster exhaust becomes a hazard. Alrighty then. And yes, I am going to bring today's episode to a close right there. In the next one, we make a start on the next main mission, but until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista, thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.